What if you had a senior developer sitting next to you 24/7 who never gets tired, never judges your code, and writes boilerplate for you in seconds? That's exactly what GitHub Copilot promises. But is it really good or just a hype? So in this video, we'll be checking that, and I'll break down every major GitHub Copilot feature including ghost text, inline chat, all the chat modes like ask, edit, plan, and agent. So hey everyone, this is Kunal. Welcome back to my channel Tech with Kunal. So if you are serious about becoming a better developer and using AI the right way, this video is for you. So GitHub Copilot is an AI-powered coding assistant developed by GitHub. It integrates directly into your code editor and understands your code base context, meaning it doesn't just predict code, it understands your intent. So the first feature that we will be talking about is ghost text. So let's say if I am typing some code in my editor, basically the GitHub Copilot understands that and try to give you suggestion. So let's try it out. So let's say I'm just adding a comment. Let's say function to rate. If you see here, right, the less highlighted one is basically the basically this is the ghost test. It's basically the suggestion that is provided by GitHub Copilot. So if I press tab, it accepts it. If I basically press command and right arrow, it basically accepts a word and so on. But let's say if I change it, right, I don't want this to use, so I'll continue writing. So let's say I want to write a function to calculate discount. It again is like with all the words try to predict discount price, right? So let's say I just press tab and it's accepted it. So now I try to write the function, right? So def, if I just put it, it again give me again the suggestion. If you see here, right? Calculate discount price, original price, discount percentage, right? So if I just press, it accepts that, and again it gives the next suggestion. So if you see the grayed outlines, right? These all are the suggestions, right? So I can just press as I am in Mac, right? I can press command and arrow to keep accepting word by word if I don't want to accept everything. But let's say I want to accept everything, so I'll just press the tab and it accepts everything. So my whole function is ready. So it's very quite good and quite faster way to generate boilerplates. So that's all about the ghost text. So the next feature that we'll be talking about is inline chat. So what is this inline chat? So now I have the code. In case I want to get basically interact with this code and I want to let the AI directly interact with this piece of code, I can do that. So let's say to access the inline chat, there are two ways. I can press Command I and it will basically get that inline chat, or I can basically right click and I can go to open inline chat and it will open the chat. So I've selected the function. Now I can ask anything and it will deliver that. So maybe I can ask something like explain this particular function. And then we can also select the model. I'll just keep it in auto for now. And it has explained everything in this whole comment. So we can read line by line. It has provided everything. And it's up to me whether I can keep it or I can just remove it. If I keep it, it will keep that whole details, or if I press the undo, it will remove it. So that's the inline chat feature. So it is quite handy, quite helpful if you want to directly select a particular piece of code and want to ask something, or want Copilot to explain that, or you want to refactor it, quite faster way to do that in that sense. The another feature now we will be talking about is the one of the most uh, famous feature is the chat window. So let's open another chat for now. So in this chat window, there are multiple features and multiple different modes, but let's go them one by one. So there is a mode called Ask mode. So Ask mode is for general questions, right? So there is also, if you see here, right, we can attach different context. Let's say this is our main.py file. I want this context directly to be available for the chat window. I can just add it here and you can see it is already added here. So now in the ask mode, I can ask any type of question. So let's say explain this file. Explain the code in this file. Oh, sorry, my bad. I missed to just change the mode. So, but yeah, it basically I had explained. But there is a mode here. You can see there are multiple different modes: ask, agent, edit, and plan. So we need to go into the ask mode in case we want to ask anything about the piece of code. We can select it also. Let's say I want to get the explanation for this particular piece line of code. Explain the selected line. And you can see it will basically explain the whole line. And also see, once I explained, selected the piece of code, right, you can see the main.py 29, line number 29 is basically selected. So it gets that context, what I'm trying to select, what I'm trying to ask, and based on that, and based on my question, it has explained how it works. It has explained everything related to this particular piece of code. So the next mode is basically edit mode. Edit mode is quite powerful. So instead of just answering, it modifies your particular piece of code, right? So let's say I can ask in the select this particular piece of code. I go into edit mode. So basically, if you change the mode, it will basically end that particular session and it will open another session, right? So now in the selected line, code add the comment in line to explain the formula. So as I asked it to add a particular comment to explain the formula, and it has delivered that. I can again keep it or make it undo if I don't want to accept the change. For now, I will be keeping it. And as you can see, it has added the particular comment that we requested it to do. We can ask it to do anything. We can ask it to do some login. We can also ask to change the input validation. So it's quite useful mode. The next mode is quite interesting mode. It's basically the plan mode. Again, we'll change the session with the change of mode. So plan mode is where Copilot start acting like a senior developer. So instead of writing code immediately, it creates the structured plan, right? So let's say if I ask it, let me ask him to plan PU build a REST API for a task management app, right? And now So for this particular task, let's select another model. So if you see, there are different models. As I have the premium plan, I can see different model. There is also a free tier that you can use to try it out, and you might not be able to see a lot of these models in the free trial, but it's always good to start with the free one and get your hands dirty with GitHub Copilot. So for this particular thing, let's use Claude Sonnet 4.5 model and let it plan. So I just given him a very simple instruction, and now it will collect the whole requirement and it will give me the whole plan. So it's working, it's researching the workplace for planning. It's doing searching the whole workspace, each and every file, just trying to find if anything is related. So if you can see, it has clearly built the whole plan to build the REST API for the task management app. So you can go through this, right? So let's say you went through the whole thing and you want something you don't like, right, in the plan. You can ask it, I want to change the database and want to use MySQL instead of SQLite. It will do its research, it will again collect all the details and then reiterate through the plan and update the plan based on my requirement. And that's how we also work, right? We always work with our PM, POs, try to collect the requirement and then update our plan before we start developing into the whole project. So as mentioned, it has updated the whole plan, and now if you can see, it will basically have removed the SQLite and then using the MySQL, and it has given the whole setup how it's going to do what it's going to do, right? So now the next mode is a very crazy mode, right? It's in agent mode, basically the agent mode. So either I can change it from plan to agent mode, or I can, in that mode we get, usually in the bottom we get a button called start implementing, right? So now I have changed the mode to agent mode, and I can ask it to basically complete the whole take the plan and then start developing. It basically analyzes your whole code base. It decided what file to modify or what new file to add. It also applies the coordination changes. It executes the complete task. So let me just start the plan for the. So also if you notice, right, when I change mode from one to other mode, it basically asks me to change the session. But when you are in plan mode, you can directly change to agent mode, and agent mode will pick the session from the plan mode so that it can get the whole plan, whole details that you have gathered and generated during the plan mode. And it will use this particular plan to generate the code and to start implementing. So once I provide the instruction, I can just send this and it will start working. So if we go to the Explorer, File Explorer, you can see it started adding requirement.txt. It will keep adding all the file as per the need. Let's go back to the next. If you can see, it's thinking. It's basically collecting details, and it is now asking me to basically like a model wants to edit a sensitive file in .env. So I'll just give allow it because the .env is the place where we save a lot of these credentials, endpoints, all the configuration, sensitive configuration. So it is asking me to basically allow it to edit that particular file. For this particular case, we are allowing it. And now if you go back, you can see it has added the .env file with all the details. Let's go back to the chat window again. Now it's collecting other details, what file needs to be created. It has basically, you can see it is logging all the details. It has created settings.py, created init.py, users.py, task.py, and much more. It has also started creating pydantic model schemas. And yeah, it is keep logging all the activities that it is performing. Usually it takes some time because it's not that small task. It will take few minutes, but eventually it will be ready with the whole APIs, set of APIs that are needed for this particular task. So it has created multiple configuration, updating main file. So it has removed the older code. Now it has created the main file as per the fast API. It basically using fast API as per the plan. If you go to the plan, right, it has mentioned what it will be using with the fast API, SQL Alchemy, and everything. Alembic for migration, UVCon server. So it has completed. If you see, it has completed the whole project. So it has successfully implemented the task management REST API with MySQL. This is the whole project structure, the file and folder structure that it has generated. It basically provide me the next step, set up my database, what I have to do, basically run this particular query to create the database, right? And then update the env with my MySQL credential. Also asking me to once I create the install the packages mentioned in the requirements.txt, and also it's providing me how to run this particular server so that I can access the endpoint, and also provided me the with the endpoint which I will be using after running this particular application, and also provide the key feature implementation. MySQL has been used, JWT authentication, CURD, full CURD operations for the task, right? So it has basically given me the good enough boilerplate code for me to start working on it. I can definitely edit and move forward with the changes on my own, what I like, what I don't like, and if I want to update anything. And also, if you see here, right, it doesn't just edit and make your code there. It gives you ample process to review each and everything. So if you can see, right, I can go file by file, and I can either, let's say I want to keep it, I can keep it. If I don't want to keep it, I can undo it. It will be removed. I can keep this one. I can keep this one, and it's up to me basically what I want to keep, what I don't want to keep. So I can go file by file, changes by changes, and keep or like either keep or I can. If I feel everything looks good, I want to don't keep pressing keep on each and every file. I can just keep it, click on once, and whole file changes will be updated. So yeah, that's the whole details about the agent mode. So always, but yeah, definitely, the it's quite fascinating and quite fast way to generate the boilerplate. But believe me, always review the changes. Agent mode is definitely powerful, but not perfect, right? So add any additional powerful features that we can use is we can use it to generate the automation unit test cases, right? We can ask him to generate doc strings, basically readme section, or also great for onboarding junior developers, where they can use it to get the explanation of the code in the current code base. And if there is any doubt on the particular line, particular file, they can ask Copilot, and Copilot will explain each and everything. So also, Copilot can also generate incorrect logic, right? It can hallucinate, right? And never blindly trust secure on it for the security code purpose. It can have a lot of breaches. It can make mistake. So AI should assist your thinking, not replace it. I want to repeat this. AI should definitely assist your thinking, but not replace it. So my final verdict: GitHub Copilot is no longer an autocomplete. It's becoming a full AI development assistant. Developer who learn to use a tool like a proper to rule like this properly will 10x increase their productivity, and there is no doubt about it. So yeah, that's all about the GitHub Copilot. If you found this useful, hit like, subscribe to Tech with Kunal, and comment below if you want to me to create some more contact on some more AI related features or tools. So let me know in the comment section. I'll try to make a video on that as fast as possible. So thank you everyone, and yeah, have a good day.